Hello once again, I'm Lonnie.
I'm Mark.
And we are Untitled Nerd Network. Kind of sort of live from Infinity Flux in Hickson, Tennessee. And this is like one of those things that I wasn't going to tackle. I was just so iffy about even mentioning this. And it just got too big, too fast to not talk about it. I try to kind of veer away from, unconventional, controversial topics for fear of, who I might piss off. But got to tackle this and head on and really the reason that made me think that we need to talk about it was because we came in here to Infinity Flux and I was like, X-Men Gold is sold out everywhere. Well, you saw a copy over here on the wall and was
Right.
like, hey, I might end up going and getting that. And you go over and you look at it and there's a $20 price tag.
And it just came out last week.
Yeah. So it's been out for 9 days now.
Right.
And there is a $20 price tag, and then I get on
the.
I was like, well, let's see. So
which is an increase from the original sticker price of $4.99.
yes,
So,
but it's gotten to where now you cannot find this book for under $20 anywhere.
which is kind of disappointing, really.
It's weird, and it was funny because they had said that. Was it last week? I think it was like Thursday, maybe. Somebody
came in and bought like
20 copies. So, yeah, I wonder where those are going.
Those are going on eBay, probably.
Yeah. So, what has happened? And there was a news story that broke last week, and I'll go ahead and tell you, if it wasn't for the internet, I wouldn't have known this was a problem.
Neither would I.
And
had Marvel not made an announcement about it,
yeah,
I wouldn't have known.
this has to have been another one of those things, and this happens a lot on the internet, it seems, that if somebody hadn't have brought it up on the internet, I never would have known. I never would have known to get mad about it. But they did. They brought it up.
I can't say that I'm mad about it.
I'm not.
I've read the issue.
Yeah.
Okay, so for those who don't know, the artist
Ardian CF.
Ardian CF, who did all the artwork for X-Men #1. Apparently there are 3 panels in question. There's one where Colossus is wearing a shirt that references the Quran, Surah 5, verse 15. Comicbook.com references it as chapter 5. The Quran doesn't do chapters, they do surahs.
Yeah.
So first off, there's that. Sorry. And which basically... I would have to go back and read all the other verses around this verse, but I'm fairly certain. But this verse, taken as itself, basically tells the followers of Allah not to congregate with Jews or Muslims, or Jews or Christians. Fair enough. There was another one where there was a reference to the number 212, which has something to do with some sort of a conflict over in Jakarta, apparently.
Yeah.
And then also the fact that Kitty Pryde, who is a Jewish character, there is a jewelry store in one of the panels, and it's framed in such a way that her head cuts off the L-R-E-Y, so it just says Jew right by her head.
I did not know that.
So apparently those are and of course my issue with it, which I pointed out to you, is that she's not wearing her Star of David. Any other appearance we've ever seen of Shadowcat, she's wearing her Star of David.
She doesn't have anything on. Of course, she's in uniform there.
Yeah, but it would still
No,
be...
I have a pull box here, so I managed to get my copy for cover price. Yep. Props to them. So.
right here at Infinity Flux. You can get a pull box.
Now, let's see. Okay, Kitty Pryde's not on, but they also, Infinity Flux had these things out front at their table right as you enter the store. That is like a Scotty Young print. That's pretty cool. I'll see if I can get that up there. And Kitty Pryde's not even on that, so.
Huh. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, she is not.
Wait, no, that's her right there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's the one talking to Old Man Logan.
Dude. Okay.
No, it's the ponytail and everything. This is her
Oh,
talking
okay,
to Old Man
I
Logan.
see it now. It looked like she had short hair. But
Well, she does,
I
because
see
she's got short hair here.
Okay, I see the
So, yeah.
ponytail there.
But the fact that, so this apparently, a whole bunch, there was, according to several news outlets, there was a huge outcry on the internet, and Marvel has released an apology. Now, what I find interesting about Marvel's apology is
define outcry.
They really haven't said, just like following an outcry by fans on social media. By the way, credit to comicbook.com for the source, and James Lovett. Following an outcry by fans on social media, Marvel Comics has responded to the controversial artwork released in the pages of X-Men Gold 1.
Mm-hmm.
We've already talked about what it is, But this is what I find interesting. The mentioned artwork, this is the Marvel's statement. The mentioned artwork in X-Men Golden 1 was inserted without knowledge behind its reported meanings, which means that unless you knew what it meant, you wouldn't have known it. These implied references do not reflect the views of the writer, editors, or anyone else at Marvel and are in direct opposition to the inclusiveness of Marvel Comics and what the X-Men have stood for since their creation. Now, this is the same company that last week said that diversity is not what the fans want, and that's why comic book sales have fallen on all of their newer titles that they've released. So it's a big change from what they said last week, because last week they said diversity isn't what the fans want. This week they're saying this doesn't speak to the diversity that we stand for.
Now, I'll be the first to say that over the past 2 years or so, they have, I'll just say it. They made Iceman's character gay.
Right.
They
made
brought
Thor a
in. I think a lot of the problem that a lot of people were seeing is that they didn't bring in new diverse characters. They tried to change existing characters.
And I think that is the core. For me, that's the core of the problem. You want, like, for example, Thor. They made Thor a woman. There are so many other characters just in the Thor mythos. Yeah. Sif, Valkyrie. You could even do a solo book with Enchantress and have a strong.
You could have done a solo book with Jane Foster as a human
fighting cancer.
Yeah.
But
I mean, look at what they do with Jessica. Well, Jessica Jones isn't a. Never mind. But I mean, so just right there in the Thor mythos, you have 3 characters who are very underutilized,
and who could stand out as a strong female character for female readers to get behind. I get that. You want to get female readers.
But they don't want older established characters. They want something new, something changed.
But they didn't introduce anything new. They just made Thor a girl.
Well, granted, they do have the girl America. They got that new series out. She's like a. Then they did, even Miss Marvel. They did the. I think she's
Muslim.
Muslim, but they made her Miss Marvel.
Right.
They didn't make a brand new character. They made her Miss Marvel.
Right. So they gave her an older established name.
I mean, I don't care if the story's good. I'll read it. But a lot of people, and I've seen complaints myself. Lots of complaints. People are just, don't mess with an established name. Don't mess with an established character. It's either they're putting new people into an established name,
right?
Like Miss Marvel, when Sam Wilson became Captain
America. Again, he was a strong enough a character to stand on his own.
Yeah, like
why make him Captain America? And then you were talking about the whole thing with making. So they made the younger. So there's the time displaced Iceman, and he's the one that's gay.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Of course,
which doesn't
everybody kind of picked up over time that Bobby Drake was kind of, sort of, but it was never actually said.
Right, and then you have but why do that when you already have established characters in that mythos like North Star?
Yeah,
North Star years ago, they've been every now and then you will see him and his partner show up in one of the issues, and they're there for like
he
5
was
or
actually
6
featured
frames.
Fairly heavily back in like 04, 05, because I remember whenever they had the Uncanny X-Men series where they were doing the X Corporation,
right? And the leather suits.
Yeah. He was a member. He was major in that.
And that's when he got married in that run too.
Yes, that was around 08, I think 09.
So you have why I don't understand why you take a character that's been around for years and years and years and years and change what is a basic dynamic of them. Because Bobby's always been a ladies' man in all, in the history. Why not, if you're wanting to focus on a character who is homosexual, use one you already have. You've got North Star. Who else in Marvel? I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. Aurora, his sister, is bi. So there's established characters in the Marvel mythos.
I mean, there's not a ton.
There's not a ton of them, but there are established characters in the Marvel mythos that you could use and bring to the forefront. You could bring, you want a homosexual character in X-Men, make North Star, who is a mutant, a member of the X-Men. You've done it before.
I do. I see what you're saying, and at the same time, I guess the way you could look at it is you do have established characters, and it wouldn't bother me so bad to make established characters changed as long as at the same time they give the established characters that we've already got more of a spotlight. Like, bring North Star out.
Right.
But instead they have these established good characters. North Star's a great character. Some of the stuff, especially was it when him and back in the late '90s in X-Men, Nate Gray, they had the whole deal where they were trying to get Aurora to join the
Brotherhood.
The Brotherhood.
Yeah,
that was a great story.
That was when it was Dark Beast, Havoc, Fatale, and X-Man, and they had North Star there, and they had Aurora because
she was like in the hospital.
Well, she's always had multiple personality disorder, and so apparently somewhere right before that arc, she had broken.
Yeah, she was kind of like a less powerful Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, well,
kind of had that same thought.
Yeah, just her brain was broken, like she just didn't remember who she was, and of course they were trying to bring out her core personality, but I mean.
But this artist, he has been terminated.
Yes.
He's already done the artwork for issues 2 and 3. The artwork in question in issue number 1
isn't going to be available in the reprints, which is why this printing has jumped up.
Yeah. Because
there's only so many copies of this copy. And then, so yeah, I can see why it would jump up, but dear Lord.
Yeah. So it's like, I had no clue. And somebody mentioned this on Facebook. I think it was like Wednesday night or Thursday morning, and they were like, if you have any question about what's going on, just Google this guy's name.
Yep.
And the fact that you have to say that means that, in my personal opinion, this was probably a manufactured, like it wasn't something that, of course, who's to say? I mean, it kind of makes me wonder now what issues 2 and 3 look like.
Makes me wonder if he put something in there that we don't know about. Okay.
I hope we don't get copyright for that.
No, that's okay. That's just a text message from my girlfriend.
But yeah,
it's going great.
It makes me wonder if somebody went over issues 2 and 3 with a fine-tooth comb after this and was like, I wonder if there's anything else.
But the thing of it is that I mean the references are so subtle. Like, I mean, for example, the Quran reference in question is. It's on Colossus's shirt. It just says Q5:15. Yeah. That's all it says. So unless someone had pointed out that, that's a reference to the Quran, Surah 5, verse 15, I wouldn't have known. I just thought it was some weird number on his shirt.
True. But in the age of the internet now, people are going to dig deep, and they look for meaning in everything, and they're going to find it.
I personally think it's people with too much time on their hands because apparently the whole thing is that this verse is a quote unquote anti-Christian verse, and as someone who was raised as a Christian, I was not offended by this issue. I've read the issue cover to cover. I wouldn't have known about it until it jumped out at me.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
You've read the book?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't read it yet. That's my copy that I've.
Yeah, I've read it. I'm
kind of afraid to even touch it at this point.
But I mean. I picked it up and glanced through it last week, and then I, was like, I might come back. It actually, truth be told, it's the first X-Men comic book in a while that's made me want to add it to my pull list.
Yeah.
So, because the artwork is amazing in it.
I will say it's some of the best artwork.
Is amazing.
It's some of the best artwork I've seen since like Joe Mad's run and Uncanny back when.
I've always actually, truth be told, I've had a crush on Kitty Pryde for years.
Probably along the lines of my Jubilee deal.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. And just the whole, there's like this whole exchange. So like, Shadowcat and Rachel Gray, Phoenix, now Prestige, have been best friends for years. Yeah. And Rachel comes in, and there's this conversation going on between Kitty and Colossus, and there's always been that thing between them. And the whole time she's talking to him, she's like, please let somebody attack the city. So like in her mind, she's like, please let somebody attack the city. And Rachel comes in and goes, someone's attacking the city. And she goes, okay, now. And in her head, she's like, I feel horrible now. And then so like they're suiting up, and Rachel's like, so did I interrupt something between you and Peter? And Kitty's like, I don't want to talk about it. And Rachel's like, you do know I'm a telepath, right? And Kitty's like, you do know I can phase my finger into your eyeball and solidify it, right?
Oh, crap.
And it's just that witty exchange between two friends, and then
the writing on this is amazing. I hope they're able to find, because this guy's gone, and he's pretty well.
He's pretty much said his career's over.
Yeah, he's said that openly.
Yeah,
like it's over, and I mean that's That's what happens now. If you put any kind of personal, political, religious, anything message into a comic book, into a movie, somebody's going to find it,
and they're going to call you
and
out
depending on the temperature of the public at that given point, is going to determine whether you are applauded for it or you never work again.
Yeah, and my thing is like, I get it. You have your right to be offended, but that doesn't make you right. You know, I personally don't think that this guy should have been fired. I think maybe he should have been talked to and said, hey, you know, don't do it again.
But no, it's like the mob mentality. People are out for blood.
But why?
And there would have been calls for boycott. Nobody cared until it was brought up.
But why? It's okay. So, I think we're probably going to go into too much politics here. So it's okay for our president to single out a certain religious group and say these people are bad, but for somebody else to say don't associate with Christians or Jews, he loses his job.
Yeah.
And his job isn't nowhere near as important as a person in political office. I have issues with that. Like I said, I've read the issue. I wasn't offended by it. I saw no reason to be. I've read the Quran, obviously. You know, I had to re-reference the verse, but you know, I saw nothing offensive to me as a Christian in the verse.
And in my personal opinion, I don't care if I agree with the politics, the religious overtones, or anything. You know, even if somebody just comes right out and says something in a book, if the book is good, I'm still going to buy it.
And the book is amazing.
I don't care.
This issue is, like I said, the first issue of X-Men that's made me go, hey, I want to start following this series again.
Yeah, I mean, even if this thing caused this book's value to plummet to where people were just giving them away, I still want the book.
Yeah. I want one too, but I can't find one for under $20. If you have a copy of X-Men Gold 1 for under $20, let me know in the comments below. Thank you.
I have one for $19.90 right here.
I'm going to smack you.
Oh,
funny.
But yeah, this is the world in which we live now. The internet is to blame for a lot of this. The internet has accomplished great things, but the internet also has the potential to make massive mountains out of tiny little anthills, and that's what we're seeing right now. This really should have been handled in a closed-door office discussion and not ever been made a public
And I agree with you, because had I not read the article on comicbook.com, I wouldn't have known. Like, I would have read the entire book and wouldn't have known that the 212 on the... Because basically the 212, which is the reference to the Jakarta thing, apparently, which I've still not found... Like, I've not researched what that is exactly. But apparently the 212 is, like, on an address on a street, basically, is what it is. And...
I'll tell you what. Let's do a role play. Okay, let's turn our chairs towards each other.
Do I need my dice for this?
No. Okay, so you're going to be the Marvel guy who comes in. I'm the executive president or whatever. And you're going to tell me what has happened, and I will tell you what should have happened.
Is it okay if I take this out of the thing because it's on the page?
No,
okay.
Don't take it out.
So basically, Mr. President, what we've got here is there's a very subtle and hidden reference to the Quran on one of Colossus's shirts.
Okay.
And also there's the number 212, which apparently is some sort of reference to a issue going on in Jakarta, has been subtly woven into this. And Kitty Pryde, we all know Kitty's Jewish, but apparently there's also a page in here where the word Jew is right by her head. Look it over and tell me what you think.
Well, obviously this is, let's say this is the night of release. And so, you know, the artwork looks good, and the, you know, everything looks good, and the comic is selling very well.
Extremely well. Matter of fact, as we look online, we can see it going on eBay for over $30 now.
Okay, yeah. Well, you know what? The art's good, the book's doing well, and I personally was not offended. So let's keep the guy around and bring him in tomorrow and tell him that you know, this kind of thing's not cool, and tell him to tone this stuff down.
You sure we shouldn't issue a press release to let the world know what the problem is?
Oh, probably not. You know,
because I mean, we could.
No. That's not necessary.
I think that's a good idea, sir. Let's go with that.
Yeah, I think we will, because you know, it's the internet. You know, 2 days from now, somebody's going to do something that's going to far outweigh this. Nobody's going to care anymore. So.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, let's do it. So that's how it should have been handled. So
I've already called Marvel Comics and talked to their PR. Well, I left a message on their PR person's thing, and I was like, I wasn't offended. Here's my name. Here's my number. Call me if you have any questions.
yeah. So anyway, that's been our that's our opinion on the X-Men Gold massive controversy.
Hold on, wait.
It's going to bring the comics industry to its knees.
Wait, and if you want to speak to Marvel Comics about it, the number is 212-576-4000.
Cool. Okay, I didn't know you were going to do that, but I approve. yeah, totally. Absolutely.
Because, I mean, everybody has their opinion. I'm pretty sure that there's people watching this who don't agree with us.
Yeah.
And
sure.
and everybody, if
I'm
you
going to
don't,
say,
feel free to let us know.
Our
Down,
opinion,
comments.
Our opinion is no better than yours. Everybody's opinion is equal. Like, you may have some personal reason why this just absolutely floored you. And while I don't have a personal reason, he doesn't have a personal reason, there's somebody somewhere who may have been truly offended. But what I'm saying is that the outcry of this incident would not have been anywhere near my philosophy is if somebody has to tell you why you should be offended, you're not
going to be offended. Yeah.
So anyway, that's the moral of the story. I'm going to have to put that in writing somewhere.
I like it. It should be like the motto of the show.
Yeah, if somebody tells you why you should be offended, you are not truly offended. And that happens a lot.
Exactly.
So that's our 2 cents on the X-Men Gold #1 controversy.
And if you don't agree with us, we promise not to drag you off the show like a United Airlines passenger.
Yes. All right. Well, anyway, I'm Lonnie.
I'm Mark.
And we are Untitled Nerd Network, coming to you from Infinity Flux in Hickson, Tennessee. And this has been our take on the really non-existent controversy of X-Men Gold #1.